Hello everybody, Low2 for Life here, bringing us a brand new video, and today we are going to be doing a first ever Grand Archive card review with card announcements happening. For those who don't follow me on my main channel for Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff, I do, at least I used to, I don't do it as much anymore, I need to get back into it, videos where I review new card announcements and everything. And haven't done that yet for Grand Archive or for Digimon. Part of the reason is that these games just announce one or two cards at a time. They don't mass info dump three, not three, but like 10 plus cards at a time. This time they announced three with a little commercial for RDO. And you know, RDO is looking to be a really good set. I have my reservations with it, most notably it being a 500 card set with $200 pricing for boxes. It kills me. I'm thinking about making a video complaining about it another time. But the big thing with RDO is that it's going to be giving support to every single champion so far. Which is very, very cool. The devs have basically said, yes, that is what it is. It's going to be giving support to every single champion, alongside huge amounts of reprints. Now, we don't know how much each champion is getting. We do know they're getting at least, like, I know that, like, one of the devs replied to somebody on Twitter saying that, yeah, both versions of Diana are getting cards. It's not just Diana is getting cards. No, it's both versions of Diana. Which makes me think that both versions of Alice are also getting cards. Now, so far they've only shown Chessman Alice. Don't worry, Spectre Bros, you are probably getting support as well. So, Alice is one of my favorite decks in Grand Archive. I would say right now, Chessman, Gun Diana, and Slimes are honestly Slimes and Genbu are like tied for like third place. I can't decide between all three. I love every single one of those decks I just mentioned. But Alice is in dire need of some fixing. The deck feels a bit underwhelming. I do feel like water is better than wind. I've been playing wind. Expect a wind deck refiled later this week. But and also I'm going to be redoing my water deck refile later on too. I've made some changes to it, and yeah, the GA Discord tore me a new one. Thank you guys. Very welcoming. Oh my god. Uh, anyways, so I love this deck. I love Alice. I love the Alice in Wonderland theming and everything. And I've pretty much decided that the first ever lineage I'm ever gonna get the full CSRs is gonna be the Alice Chessman deck. Granted, that's gonna cost me an arm and a leg, and a kidney, and a spleen, and some other stuff. I don't even know. Anyways, that's my goal for eventuality. Partly because, oh my god, look at this card, Alice level 3. So I'm going to stop yapping and let's get on to this. Alice level 3 here, Alice Trifle's royalty. She's an exalted norm, which is very interesting. This is our first, like, true norm champion, not counting the spirits, which is very intriguing. Personally, I would have preferred her to be, like, Luxum or something to, like, contrast with the Umbra. But I digress. Norm is okay. I just wish she had access to advanced elements. She is going to have access to Exalted Norm, though, at least, which is good, especially considering we kind of knew we were going to get one anyways because of this card, which we'll review here in a minute, too. So, she costs one less to materialize for each Chessman ally you control. By the way, she's still a cleric. She's a Chessman Queen Human. Awesome. All the normal stuff. So basically, you have 3 Chessman allies out. You're going to be able to go into her for free, which is really good. She has to go on top of an Alice. Interesting, just like the other Alices, you can go on top of Spectre Alice if you want. Is there a reason to? Probably not. Although there is an argument to be made for playing Spectre, like the evil Alice, in like the Wind build specifically, which is something I've been testing. It's very interesting. I don't know if it's the correct way to go, but it feels okay. And it might even be good to go with this moving forward. Depending on how, like, I don't know if, like, after you go into your level 3, would the Umbra still be live for you? Would you still have Umbra allowed? I don't know. Anyways, the big thing, though, is her effect here, which is at the beginning of your recollection phase, summon a pawn piece token. Then, if you control 3 or more Chessman allies, draw a card into your memory. So, the big thing that Alice struggles with, is, other than just how most of the allies aren't all that great, is getting tokens out. The water build, less so than wind. Water has access to doubled pawns, has access to the Snow White, so you can actually use Queen's Gambit to be able to tribute her off and get 3 tokens. If you want to do that in Wind, you have to either tribute a Queen's Peace token that you already got out, which is really hard to do, or play the Distortion Alice as your level 2, so you can play, I forgot her name, Spirel, I think is her name, the Evil Queen. I hate that they made the Weiss Queen, sorry, not Weiss Queen, Swords Queen. I hate they made the Swords Queen Umbra. I get the balancing and everything, but God, it does not. I hate it. But anyways, so the fact that you can just get a free token every turn is really good. And then on top of that, she draws you a card every turn. Every turn you're going to get a token, and every turn you're going to get a draw. That is, I hate how much people focus on card advantage, but you know what? That's a +2 in card advantage every single turn, especially if you made her for free. That is ridiculous. That is very, very, very strong for Alice, and this is going to bolster the deck's speed and capability so much. Especially if you have Field of Ranks and Files out, or Queen's Gambit. Your token that you're getting out each turn is going to be the first thing that's going to get a bunch of attack power. That's going to let you get into the Queen Piece token easier, and that's just going to let you be able to do so much damage. This card is just flat out amazing. I am so glad they gave Alice a really strong level 3. I was honestly kind of scared that like she just wouldn't do enough or something. And you know what? For having exactly basically one real effect here, this is stupid. This is really good, and I'm excited. God, and just look at this art, like the everything about it. I want these CSRs. That's gonna. I don't know. I might have to give up my Sylvie CSR. Yes, I still have that. If you followed me on my main channel, I opened up a, actually, wait, I don't think I recorded it, did I? No, I don't think I did. I pulled a Sylvie Slime Sovereign CSR back in the day when that first came out, and I still have it. It was one of my first CSRs. That same day, I also pulled the, oh, what is the, like, ultimate for Nico? The Ravishing Finale. I also pulled that out of my box that I bought alongside my, Sylvie recollection deck and everything. So that was a very good day. But anyways, yeah, I might have to trade that off to get the Alice stuff. I'm sorry, Sylvie. But anyways, now I'm going to go over the other 2 cards announced with this in a minute. But first I want to talk about the other Alice card that they announced a few weeks ago, because this upset people for a moment. Like, if you go through the comments, and actually you can see my comments down here a lot, but like, yeah, somebody was, I see Trinity Nova here, I see Trinity Nova talking a lot about Grand Archive all over the place, but yeah, a lot of people were kind of like iffy about this, and honestly, with how speedy the deck might be, and how, I don't know, maybe I'm overestimating, but this scares me. Okay, so what is this card? Golden Checkmate. It's a Chessman command Chessman attack card. Has a 15 cost and it's an Exalted Norm, so obviously it kind of pairs together. Actually, it does. It has to. Alice bonus, oh, by the way, 3 attack, so 15 for 3, that's not good, right? Well, you'll see here in a minute. As long as you control a pawn unit, this card costs 2 less to activate. The same is true for Knight, Bishop, Rook, Queen, and King. So, for pawn, that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. If you have every single type of chessman out, you are reducing it by 12, which means it will cost only 3. How reasonable is that? Probably not, and realistically, you're probably going to be paying more like 6 for this, maybe even more. For one thing, with the exception of like Lily, a lot of the rooks aren't particularly good. Same thing with the knights. You have Weiss Knight, and the bishops are actually pretty good all around. The hardest thing is going to be the queens, probably. There's just not too many of them around, but oh boy. if you do manage to get all them out, you're doing pretty good. You're probably already winning the game. Speaking of winning the game, on hit at the beginning of your next recollection phase, you win the game. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe this is the first insta-win, automatic win, alternative win condition in the game. I believe there was that, with the exception of that, like, really absurd... Oh, wait, no, there's two others. I think they're both Lorraine cards, funnily enough. There's, like, a Lorraine that you pay 2024 2024 memory to win the game or something. I think it was a promo or something. I don't even know if that's tournament legal. That'd be really funny. And then there was like a Lorraine that, like, oh, you give everybody a gift and everybody wins the game. But if we're talking about like real auto win, alternative win conditions, this is the first real one, not like a cheesy promo thing or an unrealistic thing. This can actually happen, and the fact that you can just... And it's not even on champion hit, it's on hit. You can hit an ally with this, you can hit a champion, you can do whatever. If this attack goes through and actually does damage, you just win the game unless your opponent manages to kill you next turn. That is ridiculous. Now, as I said, if you have everybody out, you're already kind of in that winning position. But the fact that you can just win the game like this, that's really, really strong and also kind of scary. There's no way to stop it once this actually lands. So you need to either reduce the damage so the hit doesn't happen, or you need to negate the attack. Which is going to be very interesting, because as long as this hits, it doesn't care, you win the next turn. I as much as I love Alice, did they really need this card? No. Water does need more attack cards. Wind has most of them. But like, this is not what I wanted. I'm not going to complain though. It's very, very cool. Very strong. But at the same time, it feels a little too easy to get. You know what I mean? I don't know. It just feels a little too easy. I feel like alternative win conditions should be like a bit of a challenge. You know, like assembling the 5-piece of Exodia is pretty difficult. What's the one that's like notorious in Magic? Classes Oracle or whatever it's called? I forget. Digimon has Doomsday Clock, stuff like that. Those are hard to get. This feels like it's like actually obtainable and is possibly even going to be the deck's main win condition outside of sacrifice play. Which, yeah, that's crazy. So let's go ahead and bounce back over here and talk about some of the other cards revealed in that commercial, and what I think is going to happen here. So first and foremost, we have Blue Ace of Diamonds. It's a made suited ally. It's a 1 cost. I'm sure like the other 1 cost suited allies, it's probably going to get a CSR, which is going to be pretty. Look at this. Oh my god. On enter, generate up to X bolt of diamond cards and put them into your memory. X is 0, depending on the total reserve cost of suited allies objects you control. 6, X is 1 instead, 10, X is 2, 21, X is 4, and then also this is floating memory. So, for one thing, I have double checked, I can't find anything about Bolt of Diamonds, so that seems to be new, unless I'm totally mistaken. Like, hang on, like, I looked around, couldn't find anything. I'm gonna double check real quick on Omnidex on my phone. But I'm pretty sure Bolt of Diamonds, that's a new card. And let's talk about the elephant in the room. This is a freaking water. This is, yeah, Bolt of Diamonds does not exist. We don't know what it does. We can guess it's probably going to be a burn card of some sorts. Considering Bolt's in the name, that would be my guess. But the elephant in the room with Blue Ace of Diamonds here. This is a water-suited ally. All of the other suiteds are either fire or norm. This is water. That is interesting. So that either means we're getting a whole other set of suiteds who are all water, or that means... And if that is the case, this is just going to make suited even more of a jumbled archetype. Because suited already feels like it's almost there, but did we really need to shift into water instead? I don't know. This comes out of nowhere. There is a theory. Let me see if I can find it real quick. That Duchess may become a champion, and we might get a dedicated champion, uh, suited, a champion for suited. Because as you can see here, they're like, hey, Duchess knew she had been right all along. She was indeed the heroine of this tale. And then this is a illustration for Found Power, which is going to be in Radiant Origins. And so that means, okay, are we going to see the first time an ally becomes a champion? We've seen champions become allies with like the Merlin and the Diana in the recent set and everything. But are we going to see an ally become a champion? That would be really, really cool. And if that's the case, is this going to be another case of like Sylvie, where like we get to play all the different elements of suiteds in the deck? I think that would be fine. It'd be very interesting. But for now, there's not much we can really say about Blue other than that she's pretty and that she seems like she's going to be pretty good, depending on what the rest of the water suited does and if suited becomes a truly cohesive deck. Because right now suited is... It doesn't feel good. I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy. But yeah. Here's hoping they do something crazy with suited. It's an archetype I really want to see actually be playable even at a rogue level. But anyways, next up we got Haniel, Archangel of Spectra. This is a unique ally warrior angel, and notably she has Luxum and Umbra Imbue 3. So she's a 3 cost for 2/2, and you can imbue her using Umbra and or Luxum. Notably, it can be any of them. So that's going to be interesting as well. But I believe this is the first time where we've seen a card that has imbue where it's not the same element. I don't know. I can't remember. I don't know all the cards off the top of my head. But that is really interesting by itself. That being said, Haniel here doesn't feel that good for being an Ultra. On enter, if imbued, put a debuff counter on target ally you don't control and put a buff counter on her, and then recover +1. She's a unique ally for Warrior Angel, and yeah, that's it. That's it for being an ultra rare, for being imbuing, for being a 3 card. Like, okay, yeah, she becomes a 3/3, gets a debuff counter on an opponent's ally, and then gets to recover +1, which, okay. I really like the double colored eyes. Heterochromonia is really cool. The chaos element of this is really cool. But yeah, this doesn't read all that great. And then I was reading in the comments here on Reddit. Apparently, if Haniel doesn't put the debuff counter, you don't get the buff counter and you don't get the recover +1. Because it has to say put up to 1 in order to be able to, like, if like your opponent doesn't have an ally out, you can't put a debuff counter out, so then you don't get the rest. Which I don't know if that's how it's going to be ruled. I'm sure that's how it's going to be ruled, though. That makes sense to me. It just really sucks. Really curious what angels are all going to do. Right now, the only angel that we have printed at the moment is Trisket. And Haniel here, I believe, is the second angel we've been confirmed, right? Yeah. We've been shown one other angel, and that's Angel Attendant, who has... Oh, yeah, that's right. We have Advanced Imbue 1 with her, where you can use an advanced element to imbue her. So Haniel's not the first one, but that does seem to show that angels are going to be all about using advanced for imbuing. And then, while she's imbued, she gets intercept and a non-def draw. So, very interesting with what they're doing with angels. I'm curious to see if it's going to be a fully functional deck or if they're just going to be support for other decks. Very, very curious. So, while we're talking about Radiant Origins, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other cards that they've announced for it. We have Full Bloom, which is a 7-cost Terra card for Dialchan. On enter, target opponent summons 4 Flowerbud tokens. Whenever an opponent summons a Flower Bud token, deal 2 damage to each champion. That opponent controls, and you recover 2. This card, I really like that they're trying to focus on the flower thing that Dialchan did. That never was how the deck was actually played, and that was what she was designed to do. So, actually trying to make the deck work like that, I'm really interested to see how that's going to go. And I want to see more of that. So, also, this is very interesting for, like, taking into consideration Pantheon, because if you just start spreading those flowers everywhere, you're going to be doing a bunch of damage to everybody and recovering 2 every time. You're going to be annoying people like crazy at the table. Very, very cool card. Then we got, I already talked about Angel Attendant. Let's take a look at Argus here. Argus, the all-seeing giant. He's a Norm Advanced Exalted card, 4/10. Crazy stat line there. While paying for this card's reserve cost, you may have banished 1 or more cards in Crystal of Argus or Eye of Argus from your material deck. Each card banished this way pays for 3 of that cost. So, if you want to play 2 of the 2 Argus cards that we've had before, to reduce this cost down to 4, that's really great. So you can then get a 4/10 with Taunt, True Sight, Vigor, and Omni Shroud as long as he's awake. This thing's crazy. Might actually become like an alternate boss in, like, for instance, like Alice, or like any other deck that wants to be able to just pop this thing out. Very, very cool card. I don't know how good it's gonna be, but you know what? That's a mean boss there. Then we have Zinvonia Abyss. I think I'm reading her name right. It's very hard to read here. Beautiful artwork too. Like, actually, like almost every Grand Archive card I've seen, all beautiful. If you would summon 1 or more Silvershine and or Phrasia tokens, summon that many Vonia tokens instead. That's an Arasana bonus. Can come up. Really cool. I don't actually know what the Vonia token off the top of my head does, but very. I want to see Arasana actually be able to do potion stuff, which they are trying to do with. Over here we have another potion infusion. This is Animate. This card costs 2 less to play if you're Arasana. Rest target non-regalia potion. If you do, it becomes an ally in addition to its other types, with base power and life equal to its reserve costs. Each of its activated abilities become an on-death triggered ability, which is really cool. Some of these potions get really expensive. I think there's like a 7 cost one. I don't know what the most expensive one off the top of my head is, but the fact that you can just turn one of your potions into like a 7/7 or something crazy like that is pretty strong. And then of course you get the on-death ability for that. Really cool. I want to see, just like with Dialchan, I want to see this playstyle actually encouraged for Arasana. Right now, Arasana is more about just nuking your opponent. Like, just making a cauldron with a nuke in it and tossing it at them, basically. Which is, I want to see this playstyle explored more, too. And then, of course, we got the CSR Spirits and everything. They've revealed another one with Arasana on it. That's the Nico one. Which I think it's cool and everything. I'm not super big on them, but you know what? It's really pretty. And if you want to bling out everything in your material deck, that's going to be great. I think that's everything announced so far. Oh yeah, we have Shijun of the Ash, Mage, Human, Kongming card. On enter, you may discard a card, draw a card. If you are Kongming, tap 1, banish a fire element card from your graveyard, deal 4 damage to target ally. Activate this ability only if you're shifting currents face north or south. A very interesting card again, also for Kongming. I'm not too familiar with Kongming, honestly. I don't remember exactly how she was played mainly, or how she is still played. But all very interesting cards. Personally for me, though, the big thing is Alice here. Oh my god. So, I think I've gone on long enough. That's everything that I've seen so far. I am very excited for Radiant Origins. I'm not as excited as I would be if it wasn't just so darn expensive and such a bloated set. But you know what? Let's see what happens. I'm hoping that I'm hoping this is gonna be a good set. I'm really excited. You know what? It's already a good set for me because of the Alice stuff. Honestly, I'm really curious to see what Gyalgia and Sylvie is gonna get, because those are the other 2 decks I really like alongside Alice. Diana as well. Diana, Alice, Sylvie, Gyalgia. I really want to see what everybody's going to get. and I'm hoping we get at least 1 or 2 Alice, like, new, like, not Taun. Ugh, I cannot speak. Should not be doing this so late. Oh well, I don't have that much free time anymore. I'm really hoping we get at least 1 or 2 more Chessman allies. That's what I was trying to say. I really want to see at least 1 or 2 more Chessman allies that are really good and strong for the deck. But I digress. What do you all think about these new cards? And do you want to see me cover more Grand Archive news? And if you're in here for Digimon, do you want me to do Digimon cards? With Digimon, I'd probably do like a weekly roundup or something, because they announce new cards every single freaking day, and sometimes it's like 5-6 cards a day, so that's kind of hard to keep up. So anyways, I don't want to like spam YouTube either with videos, so god. Anyways, thank y'all for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think down below, and see you all guys in the next one. Peace out. Bye. Thank you all for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please consider rating, commenting, and subscribing to my channel. It all goes a long way to helping out me and my channel. And also, if you do, please consider following me on social media, as well as also checking out my other channels. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day. Peace out.